Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering the top 5 short range options to use in Warzone since the Season 3 update. Now, I hesitated to even call this a top 5 because the meta is so balanced right now. It's more balanced than I've ever can remember. Usually it was the MP5, then it switched to the MAC-10, then it switched to the FFAR, but mainly it was those guns that had to be used because they were by far the best short range options. That's not the case anymore, and I'm going to show you exactly why. So we're going to jump into the top 5 and I'll break them down, but just remember that my top 5 may not be your top 5 because something might fit you quite different, because all of these guns listed do certain things better than certain other things, so you can select your short range weapon based on your playstyle. Let's jump into the video. Coming in at number 5 is going to be the AS Val. This gun is only ranked number 5 for one reason, and that's because it's only really viable in solos and duos. If it wasn't for only having a 30 round mag, this gun would absolutely be completely broken and would have been in meta for months. This gun kills faster than any other weapon in Warzone. It's an absolute beast. If you're just playing solos, then this should 100% be your short range option. Coming in at number 4 is going to be the LC-10. Now, if you remember back to my Season 2 top 5 short range options, the LC-10 actually made that list despite being one of the better guns in the short range meta. But now the LC-10 received a buff in the Season 3 update, so now it's actually a little bit better than it used to be. This gun just feels great for me and it's really fun to use. If you haven't tried it, you should try using this gun. Now we start getting into the really heavy hitters, and at number 3 I have the Cold War AK-47. This gun also got a big buff in the Season 3 update, and now it's really a viable short range option to use. The AK always killed really fast, but the problem with it was the amount of recoil it has. Now the recoil is more manageable and it's easier to control. The only issue with the AK-47, and the reason I have it at number 3, is its slower fire rate, but you're gonna see that coming up soon whenever I explain the differences in the weapon. Now, I put the attachments on the screen, but don't pay too much attention to them. You can certainly use them if you want to, but I want to play with these weapons a whole lot more and get a better feel for them and test some different attachments, because just like the short range options are balanced, some of the attachments are also really balanced and you have tons of options to use right now. So don't put 100% faith in my attachments just yet. I'm actually going to be coming out with a video on each one of these singular guns, going in depth on each one, so make sure you subscribe so that you can actually get the best attachments to use for these weapons. Coming in at number 2 is going to be the Bullfrog. The Bullfrog is another one that made the top 5 in the Season 2 meta, and now it's moved way up that list. The Bullfrog could actually be easily placed at number 1 along with the AK-47, but there's one particular reason that I left the Bullfrog at number 2 that you're going to see in just a minute. And coming in at number 1 is going to be the FARA 83. Now this gun got a huge buff in Season 3, and it kind of took over that FFAR feel for the short range meta. The reason I have this gun at number 1 is because it does everything pretty great. It's low recoil, it's forgiving, has enough ammo, and it shreds up close, and it's not bad at distance either. For that reason, I have this gun at number 1 for short range options. Now let's get into the differences in each gun so you can see which one will fit you best. Now we're going to go over to True Game Data, who does a great job of putting together these charts showing everything you could ever need to know about the gun. And as you see right here, the bottom line that's orange, that's the AS Val, and you see what I'm talking about with how fast this gun kills. It kills much quicker than any other gun up close. But like I said, the issue is that the biggest mag you can put is 30 rounds, so that kind of drops it to the end of the pack instead of being at number 1. The light blue line that you see is the AK-47, the green line is the Bullfrog, the darker blue line is the LC-10, and the purple line is the FARA. So as you can see, All 5 of these are really good options, and each one does a little something different, better and worse than the others. So now we're going to switch over to the headshots, and this is where the Bullfrog starts to shine and why it's ranked so high. As you can see, the AS Val in orange still shreds no matter where it's at, what kind of shot you're hitting. The Bullfrog though has a huge headshot multiplier, and you can see the Bullfrog actually competes with the AS Val if you're landing a headshot or two. Then moving up to the darker blue line, which is the LC10, light blue is the AK-47, and the purple is the FAR 83. So as you can see, the Bullfrog is a great SMG to use as long as you mix in at least one headshot. So now we're going to look at the base stats for each of these guns, and you're going to see why the AK-47 is ranked 3rd instead of 1st or 2nd, because if you look at the time to kill charts, then it suggests that the AK-7 could possibly be ranked higher. But the big factor that comes into play here is the fire rate, which is on the first line, and as you see, the AK-47 has 600 rounds per minute, whereas the next slowest comes in at the Bullfrog at 751, and the AS Val has a 885. So what that means is that if you missing shots with the AK-47, it's not firing as fast, so you're going to be punished a whole lot more than with any of these other options. Now I just want to throw this chart in here really quick, because not long ago I made an AS Val video, and some of the FFAR fanboys absolutely lost their mind because I said it killed faster than the FFAR. So I just wanted to prove in this video. I added the FFAR to this chart, and it's this light pink line at the top starting at the number 1. So as you can see, these 5 options that I've chosen kill faster than the FFAR does, and here's your proof if you're still a FFAR fanboy. The gun's still solid, but it's not top 5 anymore. That'll do it for today's video. I'm going to be going in and working with each one of these guns individually and coming out with their own separate video showing you which best attachments do which best and which you should use to fit your playstyle. So if you're interested in finding any of that out, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss those videos. As always, thanks for watching. Hold that Tiger Gaming.